Book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 5 in the NLT. I'm sorry, KJV. The third seal, famine. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, lo, a black horse. He that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see, thou hurt not the oil and the wine." NLT verse 6. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings say, "A loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay, and don't waste the oil, the olive oil and wine." All praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Hawashai, Mahal Kakadash. With honor to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the whole collective seeking to be the nation of Israel. The scattered abroad amongst the heathens, some look like the heathen. We give them 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. And you know, we always go into this. The balances is a metaphor for straits. Alright? Remember, the globe, most definitely America has not seen straits yet. Okay, what's going on is lightweight compared to what we're about to see. Remember, prophecy is building up. The Greek word for balances is zygos, which is outline of biblical usage. A yoke that is put on draught cattle. And we know, hey, that's the people. Alright? The same thing has been put on people, yoke, meaning bondage. Alright? Because that's what it's going to lead to. Okay? A system that's fully oppressing and putting people in bondage, debt, crisis, and soon is going to lead to the mark of the beast, this digital system. B, metaphor, use of any burden of bondage, you see? You see? So you're talking hyperinflation, famine, alright? More evictions, alright? As the 6th verse goes into hyperinflation, famine, evictions, being without, you know? So you got right here, Houthis strike tankers in Red Sea. So it's reported that they struck 3, some say 2. Alright, but the point is, the Houthis themselves said they struck tankers, and Saudi Arabian oil tankers. Now I typed in the oil prices spiked today due to Houthis attack on 3 oil tankers. Yes, oil prices spiked past $100, which I believe is like $100.62 or 69 cents. It says a barrel on Thursday following Houthi militant claims of strikes on Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea. It says, though reports specify 2 tankers targeted rather than 3. You see? So 2 or 3, either or. You see the detrimental effects. Alright? And again, these shipping containers, everybody, Trump, the Edomites talking about Iran don't control the Strait of Hormuz, and Saudi and the Houthis can't control the Red Sea. And how about Shema shall put on my spirit to say, they can, and they're doing it. Alright? You see, these tankers, man, insurance companies, they not going to risk. Hey, that's a lot of money, man. Take millions of dollars, man, for one tank, for one tanker. You know, to build, repair, then it take time to do it. So they say, yo, we ain't doing all that. You see? So all they got to do is, as they're going to continue, as they're going to soon do, they're not going to flow. All right? Therefore, they're controlling the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea, which at the bottom of the Red Sea is the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait. It says market and attack details, price surge, Brent crude jumped over 6% to top $100 a barrel for the first time since May. The incident, Houthi militants claimed missile strikes on 2 Saudi Arabian oil tankers in the Red Sea, leaving at least 1 vessel ablaze. supply fears. The assault compounded ongoing shipping disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz, threatening two vital global oil transit choke points simultaneously. So, hey, these things continue to ramp up. You think everything will be sweet? And I caught the tail end. I'm gonna play the videos, y'all. I caught the tail end of Trump making an announcement on rate peer protection pledge. And of course, he was going to the part that I caught. He was going to them being number one in AI and China being number two. Which that's why he was saying that hey, they're in competition with China, you know, which goes to show and prove to you when you get 2 Esdras 15, which I always get by way of the Holy Spirit, that the Edomite so-called white people, you know, they're ruling from America, and the Chinese, which is Moab, the Moabites, they're the two most proudest nations, man. Both of them trying to play God. But hey, Esau is the most proudest nation on the planet, or is the proudest nation on the planet. And you see, hey, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to punish both of them, man. Alright? 2 Esdras 15, you know the same scriptures. Hey, we're going to keep giving them. Then we can play the videos. So just so you know, hey, we try to keep you in tune and updated with prophecy through the spirit and prayer Yahweh Shema Shai. So, you know, you won't be sidetracked, get caught up out there in the world. And also to keep us on point in the spirit as well, because we take heed to these reports. Alright? Hey, so also, we won't get caught lacking, man. We won't get caught sleeping. Okay? Remember, we are the light and not of the dark. You see? And we're commanded to remain sober. Alright? Not to be drunken with wine wherein is excess. Meaning, hey, don't get caught up in the world. Alright? Use it but don't abuse it. 2 Esdras 15 and 46. And thou, Asia, to my Moab, China, the Moabites, China, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, America, and art the glory of a person. So you see, America and China going head to head for the AI race. What, to dominate the world through AI. Why? Because they both trying to play God. Alright? They both want to rule their citizens, man. Through this digital system, track and trace system, a universal basic income and social credit score system, which China already has that in place. But it's coming here to America. As Trump stated in the video, they got to be number one, meaning America got to be number one. And Trump told you they want to be number one. They want to lead this thing, man. Alright? That's why you see things happening rapidly. You know, that Revelation 12 and 12, they're coming down on the earth and the sea and the people and everything there is therein. But great wrath because they have a short time. 2 Esdras 15, 47, woe be unto thee, thou wretch. Now this is talking about Moab, China, and America. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to come to whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her, that is hated in all her works and adventures. Therefore saith God Yahweh, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy house with destruction and death. You see? And that's what's happening. That's what's going to continue to happen. It's going to escalate and get worse. And hey, as far as the pestilence, you got this so-called, psycholopsis or something like that, that's on the vegetables. You know, making people sick. They said, man, the case are exploding throughout the United States. Now they're saying measles is at an all-time high in the past 3 decades. All right, it said the number of measles cases has surpassed last year as a whole already. It was like 2,800.
Damon, I'm sorry.
Let me see. Y'all know how that goes. Yeah, the White House small shot. U.S. measles cases reached 35-year high just 1 day ago. The number of measles cases in the U.S. this year has surpassed last year's annual total, hitting the highest number of cases recorded in more than 3 decades, according to Johns Hopkins University. Per Johns Hopkins University's measles tracker, there have been 2,295. I'm sorry, I said 2,800 recorded measles cases this year, just surpassing 2025's total of 2,289. So you see, you got pestilence spreading. As Yahweh Shema Shah said, we're going to do is that we're going to bring plagues upon thee on all sides. You see? And you get 2 16 and 37. Let's start at 36. Let's start at 35. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. Right, the true believers of Israel. Remember, us as a hopeful elect seeking to be the elect of Israel, we're commanded to stay focused. We're commanded to stand firm in the faith. We're commanded to serve Yahweh Shema Shah in truth and sincerity according to the scriptures. Behold, the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. Receive it. Take hold on to it and don't let it go. Believe not the guys on whom the Lord spake. You see? Don't believe the false preachers, teachers, and prophets. Don't believe the false gods and the false interpretations. But believe Yahweh Shema Shah and the servants, the prophets in whom he sent forth. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son. With 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. And that's the time we in. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. The world shall mourn. The world shall mourn. The world shall mourn. And sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So the world is mourning because of these prophecies, man. Not just America, not just China, but the world. The whole world has been affected. Why? Because this whole world is going to have to be a part of this new world order, this beast system, this Edomite power structure, which is going to be a digital system, man. All right? Spearheaded by the mark of the beast. You see? So, hey, things are only going to get worse, man. Alright? It's only going to get worse. Again, 2 Esdras 15 and 49, I will send plagues upon thee, meaning calamities, catastrophic events, judgment, widowhood, husbands dying, boyfriends dying, men dying, poverty, hey, lack of resources, not having resources, famine, little to no food and water, medicine, sword, hey, getting shot down, being killed, and pestilence, diseases, to waste their houses with destruction and death. You see? Destroy homes, people dying. Alright? And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower, the heat shall arise at a scent over thee, thou shalt be weak as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and loving shall not be able to receive thee. Judgment. Alright? Now let's play these videos. Let's play these videos. What happened? Let's play these videos. I'm gonna go back and watch the whole video, by the way. This Houthis strike Saudi tankers in Red Sea.
نفذت القوات المسلحة اليمنية عملية عسكرية نوعية استهدفت سفينتين نفطيتين سعوديتين خالفت قرار الحظر الصادر عن القوات المسلحة في البحر الأحمر، إحداهما تحمل اسم إنسيليا والأخرى ليلى، وذلك بعدد من الصواريخ البالستية والمجنحة والطائرات المسيرة. وكانت الإصابة دقيقة بفضل الله وعونه، وتسببت في نشوب حريق كبير فيهما بفضل الله. وفي نفس السياق فقد أجبرت القوات المسلحة اليمنية ما يقارب 10 سفن على التراجع والعودة. إن إن القوات المسلحة اليمنية ستواصل عملياتها البحرية ضد العدو السعودي، وإنها مستمرة في فرض معادلة الحصار بالحصار، وتؤكد للعدو السعودي أن أي حماقة أو عدوان يستهدف به بلدنا فسيقابل بعمليات كبيرة في عمق أراضيه، وستكون عواقبها عليه وخيمة بإذن الله وقوته.
So you heard it, which I'm sure you heard it. You can't help but to hear them. But you know, you read the subtitles, so they said, yeah, yo, we did that jump, right?
Two Saudi Arabian oil
Carnage in the Red Sea as Iran-backed Houthis attacked Saudi oil tankers, escalating Middle East crisis.
Tensions in the Middle East have escalated again, with Yemen's Houthis attacking two Saudi Arabian oil tankers, sending the Red Sea into crisis.
Widening from the Strait of Hormuz, where we've seen the tit-for-tat for, well, months now, into the Red Sea, where the Houthis have put in a blockade of Saudi Arabian ports. This was a warning that came through the UK Maritime Office around about an hour or so ago. It said that the master of a tanker reports being struck by an unknown projectile, which has caused a fire on board. Crew are currently fighting. There are no reported casualties or environmental impact. We now know that the Houthis are claiming responsibility for attacks on two vessels in this area. It is an area that is responsible for some 5 to 7% of global shipping, so adds to the concerns we've seen with the Strait of Hormuz.
The Houthis, who are an Iranian-backed terror group, have targeted the oil tankers using ballistic and cruise missiles just days after imposing a naval blockade on Saudi Arabia.
نفذت القوات المسلحة اليمنية.
The armed forces will continue their naval operations against the Saudi enemy and will persist in enforcing a siege for a siege equation.
As the Red Sea is one of the world's most important shipping routes, this could cause a larger energy crisis, similar to the Strait of Hormuz blockade.
This basically broadens the war. It creates a second front and really puts the risk of chaos in the world oil market at a much higher level. It happened just a short time ago. The Houthis had threatened to target and blockade Saudi oil. Even that threat alone was enough to make several tankers turn around, make U-turns, head north out of a longer and more expensive route out of the Suez Canal. Now that they have struck and disabled at least one tanker, possibly two, that's really going to change things. Saudi Arabia had been trying to move millions of barrels of oil out of the Red Sea, trying to flee from the chaos in the Strait of Hormuz. Now that route, at least in the short term, may be closed. If you think about it, 10% of the world's oil threatened out of the Strait of Hormuz, another 7% possibly if this can hold up in the Red Sea.
Online commentators have reacted to the Houthis expanding the Middle East crisis, with this user on X saying, Iran-backed Houthis claim to have targeted two Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea, on top of Iran targeting the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump warned the Houthis would be taken care of if they started causing chaos. We take care of it. Do not be surprised if Trump quickly obliterates the Houthis. This attack comes only a day after US President Trump warned this week during a press conference at the Oval Office, saying he'll take care of business.
But we take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it. You know, we've done that with the Houthis before, and we haven't heard from them in a while since we did what we did originally. That was about 45 days of very powerful action we took against the Houthis. And we've had no problem with the Houthis. They've had no problem with us for a long period of time, including during this conflict. I think that if there is something like that, we'll just have to take care of business.
As the Red Sea opens up a new front in the Middle East, the US Central Command has announced strikes against Iran for the 12th day in a row.
The United States Central Command once again launching another round. We are now night 12 of consecutive nights of strikes on Iran. And this is what CENTCOM had to say. They said as of 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which was an hour and a half ago, US forces began launching more strikes against Iranian military targets at the Commander-in-Chief's direction. This mission will continue to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten civilian mariners and commercial shipping vessels transiting regional waters. Interestingly, for for the last 11 days, that statement has been saying the Strait of Hormuz.
Donald Trump has given Iran a chilling warning on Truth Social. If Iran dares to target ships in the Strait of Hormuz, he will destroy bridges and power plants in Tehran.
This is so much more than tit for tat, because what President Trump is saying is essentially if Iran tries to shoot at ships in the Strait of Hormuz, then he will respond not with a like-for-like, as we've seen targeting missile launch sites or storage facilities in Iran. He'll be going direct for bridges and power plants. This was the message that he posted to Truth Social, announcing that earlier today, saying from this point forward, anytime the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether it be by missile, rocket, drone or any other device or weapon, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant, including those located to or in the capital city of Tehran.
Foundations for Defense of Democracy senior fellow Jonathan Conricus praised the Americans for applying pressure to Iran, calling the regime desperate.
We don't have enough time left in the program, but I really wanted to ask you about where you think the Iran war is heading. Maybe you can give a succinct answer in 30 seconds.
I think the Iranian regime is suffering, it is desperate, it is losing on the battlefield, and I'm happy to see that the Americans are applying more pressure on the regime, and I'm waiting to see the brave, smart, and freedom-loving Iranian people finally take back their country, and I think we're getting closer to that reality.
Shut your stupid ass up. Them damn small hats. Don't know nothing. You could take up for what you want to take up for, but hey, the facts, the proof. Y'all finished. And you see, let's get we quoted it. You see how the globe has been affected by what's going on. Alright? As the scripture says, it's gonna happen. As Yahweh Shema Shah said it was gonna happen. And he said his words are faithful and true, right? Revelation 12 and 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that do other than them. That's the elect of Israel, beginning with the prophets, preachers and teachers, whom Yahweh Shema Shah set up. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short time. So you see, these devils, hey, this war is escalating now. Alright? The sea has been attacked. Hey, that's affecting transport, goods, oil, which leads to, the energy sector. We got one more video. And that's about and that joint like, what is it? Yeah, this is it right. I believe.
Now to the latest on the war with Iran. The U.S. and Iran trading strikes yet again overnight, with Iran claiming to have struck U.S. military assets in Jordan and Kuwait. U.S. officials warning Iran will pay a big price if Iranian officials don't make a deal. President Trump also threatening to bomb Iranian infrastructure for every Iranian strike on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Rena Roy reports the raging conflict is now impacting the economy here at home, with gas prices skyrocketing.
The U.S. has already been relentless in its attacks against Iran, and now American officials are warning the price will get higher every day if Iran continues striking U.S. targets.
Video posted online shows flames at a border crossing between Iran and Iraq, people screaming and running for safety. The U.S. has not acknowledged that specific strike, but it's the 12th straight day of attacks on Iran. CENTCOM releasing this video saying the U.S. struck Iranian military targets overnight. Human rights activists in Iran say there's been nearly 3,700 Iranian casualties since February.
We do it because we have to do it, because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, Iranian-backed militants in Yemen taking aim at 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea in an attempt to block international shipping, choking another key waterway that could have ripple effects for the world economy. President Trump saying the U.S. will inflict, quote, major military punishment on Iran and the Houthis if the attacks continue. Iran also threatening tankers in the Strait of Hormuz.
They will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing. They're already paying a very heavy price. They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon. because the price they're paying is very high despite their tough talk.
Trump warning that for every Iranian strike on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S. will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant inside Iran. Deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure is a potential war crime under international law. Global oil hit $100 a barrel after Trump's comments that he will inflict military punishment, and gas prices are once again being impacted. According to Gas Buddy, the national average for a gallon of regular is more than $4, up about 16 cents from last week. In New York, Rena Roy for ABC 30 Action News.
So there you have it. So gas prices on average for $100 a barrel between $3.80 and $4.50. Alright? And that's just for regular, and that's also depending upon where you live. Now don't forget, hey, Iran said, hey, they're gonna try to make it so gas, oil is about $200 a barrel. So you would just double, really triple what the average is right now at $100. You see? Really about triple. You know, the gas station, man, these big corporations, they're going to get theirs off the top. You know? But you talking about $10 for regular. Depending upon, that's average. So, hey, some states for regular, it'll be $12, $13. They don't even touch premium. You know? You're talking about $15 a gallon. Don't even talk about diesel. You're talking about at least $20 a gallon. You know? And you think everything is not going to go up? You think things are not going to affect you? Come on, y'all. Hey, electric vehicles looking mighty good to some people, isn't it? But that's a money pit, man. That's what they're doing. They're pushing people towards this digital system, man. All right, but you know, just a quick update through the spinning part of how about Shimon Shai. We here, you know. Prophets ain't going nowhere. The spirit of prophets is in the earth, man. How about Shimon Shai is here, man. Stay prayed for the how about Shimon Shai. Shalom. Come on, man. It didn't go away. Okay, let's do our Shimon Shai.